Welcome to the On Deck podcast for all your baseball DFS needs with your superstar hosts, fantasy baseball experts, Casey, Bubba, Bogman, and The Welsh. The On Deck podcast is brought to you commercial-free by LineStar app, the #1 top-rated data and analytics tool for daily fantasy sports.
Welcome back, everybody. It's the On Deck podcast brought to you by LineStar. I am your host for the day, Bogman at Bogman Sports on the Twitter, and I'm joined by my partner in crime, my best friend, Chris Welsh at Is It The Welsh on the Twitter.
Superstar host, The Welsh. Make sure we get that right. Superstar, as they said. What's up, everybody? It's my first run here with you guys. It's been Bubba and Bogman for the last couple, but glad to be here. Absolutely love LineStar. Love the product and love the crew. One of my favorite things has been perusing in the chat. So I don't know if you guys are, if you're not a part of LineStar, the tools are incredible. The stuff you get to check out, amazing. Check out the chat. It's fantastic. Even hanging out in there live with all the updates that it pops in. You can be talking with people and then bam, you get hit with one of, this guy just hit a double. Garrett Hampson just hit a double. Yerman hit a homer, whatever it is. And if you guys are already a part of it, Bogman, Bubba, myself been perusing around and checking it out in our superstar status, Bogman. But good to be here.
And of course, I was in there too. And of course, if you haven't downloaded the app yet, LineStar app in the Apple App Store, Google Play Store, wherever you go to get your apps, you can find it in there. And if you can, please check us out on the app and, rate us if you can on the Apple App Store. I think that's the one that matters the most. So,
yes, sir.
Let's talk about because there were some big time performances. Obviously, I hope you got it in on Sunday as far as wanting to pay up for really good pitching, because there's like one option today on the list. So who did you like from the weekend, the Welsh?
Well, Sunday there was a lot of good pitching. That's what I was kind of that was something that took me away. We talked about that on another show that we did, that there was so much good pitching, and pitching that I didn't, I'm not even sure everybody saw coming. Like Jordan Lyles was someone that would have just screwed me. That would have been one of those where I would have looked at the performance and I would have been like, no, this is one that I think is going to go completely south. Brady Singer is another one of those. That would have been one I would have bet on that would have taken me down. It really would have taken me down. I loved Aaron Savali. I love seeing what he did. He put up, I think, 22 on, on the DraftKings, and he went over projection, what was nice. So that was probably, that's my guy. That's one of my absolute favorites. Ian Anderson as well. Both priced pretty decent. Michael Pineda, some good stuff. I love seeing the rookies perform, but Savali jumped out to me.
Yerman Mania, right? Yerman Mania, Whit Merrifield was great this weekend. Eric Hosmer had a great run. There were some really good hitters this week too. Is there anybody else you like from this weekend as far as the hitting side goes?
Well, I had this idea I had brought up where it was like, this show, the Monday show, we should have this segment called Who Saved Your Cash? If you know where I'm going with the statement, who saved that cash? If you know what I mean. And like Yerman had to be that guy. And it was something actually I posted in the LineStar chat where I brought up to everybody. I was just like, you're getting Yerman in today? I think it was like Friday or something. And then it was like, yep, if it's under 3,000, I'll do it. And then it was the next day, who's got Yerman in? And then I was talking about him on Sunday, and Bubba almost like shooed me off. He was just like, listen, if he's under 3, you just got to go and we'll start talking if he's over 3, we'll actually start talking about him. I was like, well, come on, let's talk about Yerman. It's Yerman Mania. So I imagine if we did do a segment, my one little segment, second segment called Who Saved Your Cash? It was probably Yerman at his cost and performance, at least on Friday and Saturday. He did.
Yeah, Yerman Mania right now. It's going crazy. But we are going to dive into the main slate, which is the 7 late games on the docket for tonight. And we're going to go ahead and start in Philly with the Mets finally getting a game in here. So we finally get to see DeGrom pitch, and he's probably going to be the pitcher you're going to have to pay up for if you want to pay up for pitching here, because he's really the only great one on the list today. There are
not
some
just really. He's like the
he's
only.
the only one. Yeah, right. You're right. You know, I shouldn't have prefaced it because you're absolutely right.
Yeah, there's
He is
no
the
need
only-
to beat around the bush, Bogman. Like you're trying to be nice about it, but like he's on DraftKings, he's going to be 10-7, and DraftKings he's 10-7 on FanDuel, he's 11. Everybody else, we're talking thousands under. It's something that actually jumps out to me on DraftKings. You've got, and I think I've got the main slate here. You have a big price discrepancy as far as where you're going versus the number 2. And on DraftKings, the number 2 is Dustin May at 8,800, and the number 2 on FanDuel is Justice Sheffield. So you're talking almost 5,000 difference on FanDuel and about a little over 3 on DraftKings. So it's DeGrom and the rest of the dart throws.
Right, exactly. And, you know, if you're just looking at the hitters here on the DK side, you know, Harper, obviously the big one in this game. Hoskins, also very expensive. We haven't seen Frankie Lindor yet, but he's at 4,800. Alonso's expensive. Real Muto's expensive. Do you think you're going to pay up for any of the big boppers here?
I think Harper is, you know, pretty decently worth it. Long track record. If you're going up against DeGrom, he's hit 289. He's got some bombs in there. If I'm paying up, I think that's where I would pay. I guess I would be comfortable with Lindor, but that's just Lindor is really not going to be my speed for this round, even though, you know, DraftKings, he looks relatively cost efficient. But I would, especially the shortstop prices, if you're going like over on FanDuel, it's a little bit relative if you were looking at like Tatis versus Lindor. So I'd rather not. DraftKings, I might dabble, but I think you pay up for Harper, don't you?
Yeah, I think Harper is going to, you know, I'm not going to pick him for the home run pick, but he should probably kind of be the home run chalk pick. I actually, you know, just going a little batter versus pitcher here. Frankie Lindor, 8 for 13 against Matt Moore. So
yeah, that's what I'm saying.
615. So yeah, I like that one. A couple other guys, you know, you got to check lineups, of course, but Andrew Knapp has, he's 4 for 9 in his career against DeGrom, so not bad with a homer as well. And John VR against Moore as well. So
I was going to bring up VR. That's an interesting one. If he was in the lineup, that would be one I would jump up, especially if you want to play any BVP. But 3 for 5 in his career. You know, he's got on top of Matt Moore before, even hit a bomb. So that's why that would be somebody I would tackle if he's in the lineup.
Jeff McNeil also, you know, just a great buy here, 3,600, 2,600 on both sites respectively. So I think that's a decent buy as well. The next one here, Tampa Bay at Boston, is Waka versus Pavetta. 9.5 is the over on this one. So the highest over of the day here. Look, I kind of like Waka, 7,200 in this game on DK, 6,500 on FanDuel, and Boston is ice cold right now. So I think that's a decent buy. Are you going to be in on Waka and maybe GPP?
I kind of want to be. It's funny. One of those things, you're going to look projected points over on, who am I looking at? On DraftKings for Waka. Doesn't make you feel super excited if you're looking over at LineStar. You're under 9, and there's some power. Boston has put some power as far as righties, and ISO is just sitting under 200. But Waka's sneaky, and also I kind of think the new run in Tampa Bay makes him even a bit more sneaky. So I don't mind this. This would be kind of a buck projections, if you will, that I kind of would be interested in dabbling.
Yeah, exactly. So the big boppers in this one, Xander Bogaerts, 5,400. Rafael Devers, 5,200. Randy Arozarena, 5,100. Wendell is 5,000 here. So he is expensive in this one as well. Brandon Lau, 4,800. Christian Vasquez at 4,800. JD Martinez at 4,700. Are you going to pay up for any of these guys, you think, Welsh?
The big boppers on here, I mean, I'm kind of got a thing for Austin Meadows. Austin Meadows is somebody I don't know if you're going to consider him the big. I mean, you're obviously looking at like Bogaerts. 4,400,
still expensive. So yeah,
I think I think the outfielders here are intriguing to me in JD Martinez and Austin Meadows. Those would probably be, as far as the big boppers go, someone I'd be interested in. Verdugo, if I'm going a little bit cheap, and Enrique would be another person I would consider if I was trying to save some dollars.
I like JD Martinez's price, 4,700, 3,500. I also like Satsugo. Obviously, anytime you were talking about the Rays, you got to make sure that the lineup is right and he's in it. And Kike Hernandez at 3,400, 2,700. I think is a
yeah. That's what I was
buy.
saying because Kike's 4-for-9 career on Michael Waka, so there's just a little bit of a history. Again, he's shown some power before. He's most likely going to be hitting high in the lineup, so that's just one of those those cheap ones. Maybe you can play into some power.
Let's go to Milwaukee at Chicago. This is Anderson versus Williams here. Over is 8.5 on the DraftKings. It's 8,300 for Williams, 7,700 for Anderson. Are you going to pay for either one of these guys in this game, Welsh?
I might play Anderson. Anderson is one. Mr. Anderson, I'm kind of a little bit interested in. Projections on LineStar, relatively favorable. Working as far as strikeout, like this is a strikeout based team. And this is a place that I think, he's going to do well against the Cubs. The only thing I'm kind of a Chris Bryant guy in this game. I kind of want to be involved in the Chris Bryant game. So I could see myself in some big GPP, ig getting down with Brett Anderson if I wasn't comfortable with the rest of these guys. He's not my pick though, but he is one that I could get down with.
Big boppers in this game: Yelich, Baez, Chris Bryant, Rizzo, all over the average price. Other guys, high price: Contreras, Happ, Hira. Are you interested in any of these bats, Welsh?
Keston Hira is someone I'm very interested in that I will talk about a little bit later.
Oh.
Keston has a history with Trevor Williams. Do you want to play heavy BVP to make all your choices? No, but I'm ready to get going. I think this is a good game to get going. And I'll just tell you, 571, 4 for 7 in his last 8 plate appearances. So Keston Hira is someone I would be comfortable playing with. You know who else is Colton Wong? Colton Wong, I don't love well, you know what? He's actually relatively cheap. I'm looking over on DraftKings, 3,700. He's someone that I definitely dig. So yeah, Wong and Keston Hira would be 2 of my plays.
Yeah, I might go. I like Avisail Garcia for the price. Obviously, he's a guy that you got to make sure he's in the lineup. 3,100 and 2,400. Happ and Bryant, I think, especially Happ on FanDuel specifically at 2,800. 2 for 3. I mean, not a lot of at-bats here against Anderson, but a decent one. So I think that one's okay. How about Houston, who's got Garcia against Quintana? The over on this game is 9, and the price of the pitchers here is going to be Quintana at 7,400, Luis Garcia at 6,100. Any interest in either one of those 2 pitchers?
Quintana is the one that definitely kind of interests me, but this team bodes well against hitting. And I think they've been picking it up. Like, he's the type of pitcher that they're going to eat up. You would see that the team's got a 345 WOBA versus lefties. Quintana had a really good spring, though. And it was one of those things like new scenery, get off of the bad year. Could this be a time to go? I just don't feel it. The line, I think, is also, so yeah, the line is set at 9. This is not a favorable game that I would want to play. I'd feel better about Brett Anderson, I think, than Quintana. Wouldn't be shocked if Quintana had a good one, but lines up there a little bit. Hitters are prone for a player like Jose Quintana, so I don't think I'm paying for either one of those pitchers.
Yeah, being a high line, maybe you have some more interest in bats. Mike Trout, obviously, you could pay up for any day at 5,700. Alex Bregman at 5,500. Rendon at 54. Altuve at 5,200. And the Astros are hot. They're 4-0 right now. Your boy Jordan Alvarez is at 5,000. Correa's at 4,700. Fletcher's at 4,500. So is Ohtani. I don't think Ohtani's going to play today after pitching, though.
He is not. They already said,
right.
He's going to not play after. You know who I would? I'm thinking about leadoff guys like Altuve. Even though Altuve doesn't have a good track record against Quintana, only 130 in 23 plate appearances, I'd still be interested in playing him for the amount of at-bats. But Jared Walsh, I mean, how about Jared Walsh, though, dude? I mean, I know
I'm going to bring up Jared Walsh in a little bit. So
okay, I mean, just saying, you got a righty in here. Jared Walsh coming off a huge game last night. You're not going to have Ohtani in the lineup. Jared Walsh is someone that I would want to put. I would definitely want to put in for sure. And I wonder where I think the DFS projections, if you go and look on either of DraftKings or FanDuel, if you look under value, the number 2 value is Jared Walsh for the Monday slate. So just be in mind of that. You might have a lot of play in on him, but Walsh should be someone I'm getting in a lineup.
The next game here is the Dodgers at the 0-4 Athletics. 8.5 May versus Montas in this game. Look, I love Montas, but I don't think I want to throw him in there against the Dodgers. May might be a good one, especially, the A's are a little rough right now at 0-4. 8,800 for May, 7,900 for Montas coming off the weird cuticle thing. Any interest here?
Yes, in Dustin May, who we'll be talking about. That is definitely one. I think a lot of things work in his favor. I think you're going to have a strikeout situation again going on. My only concern with Dustin May is how deep he goes into the game, but you got to let a run
That's
support.
A good point.
If we can get 5, if we can just get 5 out of Dustin May, who the A's have been struggling, they're not hitting righties right now very well at all. They're striking out versus righties. If you get him to be able to kind of plow through that, the problem with Dustin May is he's like a strikeout guy, so he's going to stack up pitches. If he only goes 4, this is kind of a bummer, and that's the risk. He gets 5. I think I love a locked win. He's projected as far as I'm looking at like FanDuel on LineStar at just under 24 points. Dustin May is a heavy play for me.
Lots of big bats in this game. Clearly on the Dodgers side, Betts, Bellinger, Seager, Muncy, Turner, and Will Smith, all 5,000 or higher. Are you interested in any of those guys?
Whew, I mean, I think you got to be interested. It's really going to be about like the construction. I like Betts. Montas he's a dicey one. I get Seager back in there because he's hitting it so hard. I think it's interesting on DraftKings. I think he is the most per game right now as far as points. So I would go Seager. And a cheap play, I like Gavin Lux. Gavin Lux has been rocking. He's just been hitting 4-game hit streak. They got him out in all the games. You got to watch if he's going to play. I could see him possibly not getting in the lineup, which
they're sitting Betts and all kinds of guys.
Which would bode well for Chris Taylor. Also, it would be more of a play for Chris Taylor. So Taylor or Lux, I like in there. I like Seager, and obviously, of course, you're not going to not like Betts.
All right, let's go over to the White Sox at the Mariners, and this one is going to be Rondon against Sheffield. 8.5 is the over on this game, and the pitching prices here for DraftKings is going to be $7,500 for Sheffield, $6,700 for Rodon. Any interest in the pitching in this game?
I'm actually really shocked at the projections that are given to Rondon, but Sheffield is kind of my interest. This is another like team bad matchup situation that's going on, but Sheffield is one of those players that I think I'd get tricky with. Moncada's got a history with him. Tim Anderson, a little bit banged up right now. We'll see if you're going to get Yerman in there. You might get a younger guy in like Andrew Vaughn getting in the lineup. So I just think there's some holes that potentially could be taken advantage of. I like Justice Sheffield, so I dare I say it, I get a little bit worried. I don't think it's the worst, though. Some of the tools are not going to like some of the overall peripherals, but this is his game out. I think I can get down with this one.
And not a lot of PVB here, but the big hitters in this game, obviously Jose Abreu, who look, Bubba got his home run call right on Friday for Jose Abreu. So big ups to him. 5,600. Luis Robert, 5,300. Tim Anderson's going to be out of the lineup most likely with the hamstring strain. Moncada now Welsh, 4,700. Seager, 4,600. Any interest in the big bats here?
You mean the biggest bat, Yerman? Did you not say Yerman?
Well, I was going to get to him, but I was saying the expensive bats first.
He was the number one. He was the number one value, though. I would point out it looks like on FanDuel, he's still 2,000. He's 3,000 over on the DraftKings, but they've got him catcher eligible. So Yerman, I put in there. Yeah, I think Abreu is definitely the play. I'm going to want to play one of those guys. Robert versus Sheffield is really interesting. I think Robert can hit that real hard, and they've got a past, especially working out here in Arizona. Robert would be of interest.
Some deals too. Ty France, 3,800 and 2,800 respectively. Andrew Vaughn, should he be in the lineup? 2,500. Haniger, 32, 3,000. And of course, Yerman, like you said, 3,000, 2,000. Last game up here, the Giants at the Padres, over under 8 in this game. Desclafani versus Morion. I know you like Morion. He's kind of expensive though, 8,100 and 7,000. Any interest in the pitching here?
No. I would say I like Morion, but I do not like him in this game. I don't like the other one. Did you say what the line was on this game as well?
The line is 8 on this one.
That's right. I'd like to play the over on that too. No, I would not be interested a whole bunch in playing. I mean, I could see the love of Morion, but I just don't think he'd go deep. So that would be my problem with him.
Then the big bats here, Tatis at 5,800, Machado 56, Myers 52, Hosmer 52. I mean, Tatis hasn't been great, but Machado, Myers, and Hosmer have been pretty hot. Yastrzemski in here at 49. Any interest in the big bats here?
Yeah, I mean, obviously Tatis, I was telling you before, like if you're going to have interest in Lindor, Tatis is not that much more. And I think this could be an offensive game that could definitely be led by Tatis. I think Tommy Pham is kind of interesting. I also dig, and the system over on LineStar likes it as well. I kind of dig Cronenworth. This is a good spot as long as he is playing, by the way. I think the expectation is that he's going to be out there, and Hosmer might even get the day off. And if he does, then he's going to be in there. But Cronenworth would be somebody that I think can beat projections. I kind of like him. And on the Giants side, Austin Slater is another one of those players that, if he's hitting high in the lineup, he's been like a leadoff guy. I think this is a good spot for at bats. And I'm not sure he's not like a home run call or anything like that, but I dig him. I dig him for getting on base a couple times.
Well, then cheap options, Dubon, 2,800, 2,100, Donovan Solano, 3-hole hitter for the Giants at 3,200, 3,000. And then Yastrzemski's cheap on FanDuel for some reason at 3,300. You mentioned Cronenworth, and Evan Longoria at 3,800 and 2,700. So that time in the show, Welsh, where we give you some pitchers we like and get a home run call. So GPP pitcher, the one that you use in an attorney. What do you like here?
I'm going to go with Sheffield. I think it's tough. I think these are tough in general.
This is a tough slate.
This is a really tough slate because you're looking for upside. I think Price is relatively efficient for him, and I think there's some half decent upside. So Sheffield is going to be my play for GPP, and there's a reason I don't have. You have one of the guys I really like, but I'm going to move him into another spot because the cash pitchers are tough in general. But give me Sheffield.
I like Waka and May here. Those are the two that I'm going to pick. Cash pitcher. I mean, it's DeGrom. There's no other option, right?
There is zero other option, but I'm giving, because you picked DeGrom, I'd also say DeGrom, but I'm going to go with your GPP guy and say Dustin May. So I think that's someone we both agree that we really like here. Give me Dustin May as the cash guy. If he can go 5, I think it's a guaranteed win. So it's the closest thing to not DeGrom is my choice for Dustin May.
A home run call. Who do you have, Welsh?
Give me Keston Hiura. I told you before, he's got 3. I'm playing BVP here. He has got a 571 batting average versus Trevor Williams. He is 4 of 7 in 8 plate appearances. He has 3 homers, 4 RBIs. He does have a couple strikeouts in there. So he's striking out or he's homering. Give me Keston Hiura for my home run call on Monday and cross those fingers. Let's go.
Jared Walsh is going to be my pick. Look, lefty-righty matchup, 2 homers last night. Love this guy. So no Ohtani in the lineup either. So I think he's going to be good for a homer today. Keeping my fingers crossed. Like I said at the beginning, go to the App Store and check out the LineStar app, Google Play, Apple App Store, wherever you can. Please give us a rate and review if you can. And good luck. We will see you guys tomorrow. Take it easy, everybody.
Later, guys.
Thank you for listening to the LineStar App On Deck podcast. Download LineStar app from the App Store or go to linestarapp.com for all your DFS baseball needs. If you love the On Deck podcast, support Casey, Bubba, Bogman, and The Welsh by rating and subscribing. Good luck!